Richard Southern joins us once again from the home office. Hi, Richard.
Hey, Janella.
Hey, so it sounds like now that more of us are working at home, we're all rolling out of bed a little bit later. Is that the case for you as well?
Now, I've kept my regular schedule because I'm working at home. I guess you've kept your regular schedule too,
yeah,
right?
I will say I feel like I am sleeping in a little bit later because there's not really much else to do outside of going to work. So I kind of
no appointments. But get this, the electricity usage in Toronto tells us with great certainty that, in fact, we are sleeping in more. Toronto Hydro tells me that electricity consumption is peaking later in the morning compared with before we started self-isolating. So it means coffee machines and toasters are flipping on a little bit later in the morning. Toronto Hydro also tells me that in the evening hours, they're seeing a more flattening of electricity usage. It used to peak right after work. That's not happening anymore. Overall, Toronto is using less power during the COVID outbreak. Toronto Hydro says compared to this time last year, they've seen a reduction in overall power consumption. Isn't that interesting, Janella?
That part surprises me because you would think if we're home all day, the lights are on all day, we're using more appliances, we got the computers plugged in. Interesting.
It probably speaks to offices, I would think, being closed and their big power drains.
Right. So we're not talking just about residential.
Yeah, this is overall power consumption, but it's really interesting that we're, like you say, we're all rolling out of bed just a little bit later these days.
I mean, why not, right?
Why not?
Let's take advantage of the one upside.
Absolutely.
Okay, so, a lot of us staying indoors these days, not getting to spend as much time outside. So maybe bringing the outside indoors can make all the difference during self-isolation.
Yes, houseplants. This is the big in thing. We've heard from some stores that sell houseplants via contactless pickup, including one up in Ottawa, who say they can't keep up with business. One of them said they sold 600 plants in one day last week. And experts, Janella, say this is a good thing. They say being able to put your hands in the soil, being able to water those plants is no different than baking or knitting or sewing. It relaxes you and gets your mind off of thinking about all the issues in everyday life. It's also good to, have some greenery around the house. So, Janella, I've never had a house plant. It was sort of my thing until this past Christmas. My colleague Mike Apple at 680 News was selling poinsettias to raise money for his daughter's school. So I said, okay, give me a poinsettia.
Is it still
Anyways, I ended up taking care of it. Would you believe my Christmas poinsettia is still alive and well,
That's
Janella?
amazing. You're better than me.
Merry Christmas. You said you have some plants around the house, but it's your husband.
But my husband is in charge of them. He has the green thumb. I can't keep him alive. Okay, we're almost out of time here, so I just want to quickly talk about Netflix, which lots of people are indulging in. But if you're like my husband, he says he's watched everything.
Netflix says even though production is shut down, they're not going to run out of shows. It says it's pretty much shot everything for the year that it wanted to, including the popular Crown, which is already in post-production. The company said last night 15 million new people signed up for the service just within the last 3 months. Janella.
No surprise there. Okay, thanks, Richard. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.